everyone, this is Dr. VNSR Venkateswarao, working as an Associate Professor from Department of Chemistry in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad, 543. So today I would like to give the topic on the one of the important polymers, nothing but natural polymers, elastomers, processing of natural rubber. After that we see vulcanization. So first of all, we see what are the contents present in the today's topic. So first of all, we discuss about the introduction of the rubber. After that we see how to processing of the natural rubber, then go for vulcanization in order to get the stability of the rubber. Finally we say what are the advantages of the vulcanized rubber and finish with the applications of the vulcanized rubber. Let us start the introduction. So first of all, rubbers also known as the one of the elastomers. They are high polymers which have elastic properties in excess of the 300%. So first of all, what is the elastomers? The substance comes to its original shape after removal of applied stress. The substance comes to its original shape after the removal of applied stress. So that is nothing but a elastomer. So the substance which are having the elasticity property, those substances are called as a elastomers. So elasticity is nothing but the substance comes to its original shape after removal of applied stress. So the property of the elasticity shown by the substances are called as elastomers. Okay, now let us see natural rubber. So natural rubber means it is a high molecular weight hydrocarbon polymer represented by the formula C5H8X, C5H8X, where X represents the number of the units. That is nothing but a degree of the freedom. Okay, so first of all we discuss about the natural rubber. So natural rubber is nothing but a high molecular weight polymer combination with the both carbon and hydrogen. So that's why this is called as a hydrocarbon. Okay, so it is obtained from a milk emulsion called latex by tapping the bark of the tree. Nothing but what is the name of the tree? Hevea brasiliensis tree. Hevea brasiliensis tree. Hevea brasiliensis tree. It is a polymer of the isoprene units. That means what is the monomer of the rubber? Isoprene units. Isoprene is the monomer of the rubber. So first of all, it is a nothing but milk emulsion. So emulsions are nothing but the examples like paints, milks, all are these examples of a emulsion. So the milk collected from the bark of tree, the bark of tree. What is the name of the tree? Hevea brasiliensis tree. So this is the main important tree to give the natural rubber. So that means from the milk of the tree we collected from the bark within the coconut hulls. After that finishing with the so many treatment with the chemicals to get a natural rubber. So first of all we see the monomer of the rubber. So the monomer of the rubber is nothing but a isoprene units. Okay. So what is the structure of the isoprene? Coming out from the IUPAC name. IUPAC means International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So what is the IUPAC name? 2-methyl butadiene. 2-methyl butadiene. So that means what is the backbone of the carbon? Nothing but buta. Buta means how many carbons? 4 carbons present in the chain. So how many carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4. Totally how many carbons? 4 carbons present in chain. So we substitute the methyl group at second position. So that means 2-methyl and butadiene. Buta means 4 carbons, 1, 2, 3, 4 units. After that diene. Diene means at first position. After that the third position the double bond is present. En means single bond, en means double bond, ine means triple bond. So in this case we observe the en. En means double bond is present. The double bond is present at after the first position and third position. So that's why the IUPAC name of this isoprene unit is nothing but a 2-methyl butadiene. 2-methyl butadiene. So whenever the polymerization of the isoprene units undergoes to give the polyisoprene. Polyisoprene. This polyisoprene is nothing but a natural rubber. So in this case what happens? The migration of the bonds takes place. So for example, if you observe the the double bond after the second the double bond after the first carbon atom migrates towards the next carbon, and the double bond at the third carbon migrates towards the end of the position. So we get a structure CH2 single bond C CH3 double bond CH single bond CH2 and single bond. So finally we get the structure nothing but the natural rubber polyisoprene. That means whenever the isoprene undergoes the whenever the isoprene undergoes the polymerization to give the polyisoprene. So this polyisoprene is nothing but a natural rubber. So the polymer chain of the natural rubber is made of the nearby 2000 to 3000 monomer units. So this is very important. It represents the total number of the monomers present in the polymer. That is nothing but a natural rubber. So how many monomers present in the natural rubber? Nearby 2000 to 3000 monomer units. So monomer is nothing but the basic unit of the polymer, at least containing 2 minimum bonds. That means bifunctional polymers. Okay. So this is about the preparation of the natural rubber. Okay. So after that we see processing of the natural rubber. So it involves so many steps. First of all we see by cutting the bark of the rubber tree, the milky colloidal rubber milk is obtained. So already we discussed about the natural rubber obtained from the heavier Brasiliensis tree, the bark of tree. We collected a milk from the bark in the coconut hulls. So that milk is collected. After that the main consistent of the rubber present in the latex. So the latex present in the nearby 25 to 45% of the rubber, and the remaining are the water, protein and resinous materials. So resinous materials means it contains both cation exchange and anion exchange, and it is also present in the like dark brown color and black color shades. So it is very stable and it contains the cross linking bonds. Okay, so that means the rubber latex is coagulated by the using 5% acetic acid and made in sheets. That means how to prepare the 5% acetic acid. So acetic acid is nothing but a liquid solution. So it is prepared by the volume by volume percentage. Volume by volume percentage. That means 5 ml of acetic acid mixed with 95 ml of the water. 5 ml of the acetic acid mixed with the 95 ml of the water. So that is nothing but a 5% acetic acid. So this is about the preparation of the 5% acetic acid. So the rubber obtained from the latex and it is coagulated with the 5% acetic acid and made into sheets. So that is nothing but a sheet rubber. So the rubber sheets are cured under the mild heat and then subjected to a further processing. So after that the involvement of the crepe rubber. So preparation of crepe rubber. So that means to the rubber latex a small amount of the sodium bisulfate is added to the bleach the color and feed into roller which produces the 1 millimeter or more thickness sheets which are dried in air at about 40 to 50 degree centigrade. So the dried thin sheet of rubber is known as the smoked crepe rubber. Smoked crepe rubber. So that means first of all we get a sheet rubber. After that from the sheet rubber we obtain the smoked crepe rubber. So that smoked crepe rubber preparation involves first of all that latex form of the rubber treated with the sodium bisulfate. So what is the formula of sodium bisulfate? NaHSO4. So this is the formula for sodium bisulfate. Is added for the purpose of to bleach the color and feed into roller which produces nearby what is the dimensions of the rubber nearby 1 millimeter thickness. 1 millimeter thickness nearby equal to 1 millimeter or more than the thickness sheets obtained, and that should be dried in the temperature up to 40 to 50 degree centigrade. Up to 40 to 50 degree centigrade. So finally that dried thin sheet of rubber is nothing but a smoked crepe rubber. Smoked crepe rubber. Okay. So after that we see the process of in the processing of natural rubber nothing but mastification. So mastification is nothing but a rubber becomes soft and gummy mass when subjected to a severe mechanical agitation. That means in order to get a mechanical stability of the rubber, so this process is nothing but a mastification. So in the process of mastification, rubber is converted to a soft and gummy mass, soft and gummy mass when subjected to a severe mechanical agitation. Okay, so that process is nothing but a mastification. Okay, so mastification followed by the addition of certain chemical compounding which is carried out on roll mills or internal mixers. So first of all, this mastification is also involving the roll mills or internal mixers. So after the mastification is completed, the rubber mix is prepared for the vulcanization. So up to this step, we involve the processing of the natural rubber. But in the case of the natural rubber, there is no formation of the cross linkings. That's why the stability of the natural rubber is very, very less. So it will be easily reacted with the environmental conditions and soft on heating, nothing but soft on winter and stiff on cooling, nothing but soft on summer and stiff on winter. So such type of the problems involved in the natural rubber, and it is easily react with the organic solvents. So that's why we move to vulcanization process in order to get the stability of the rubber. So what is the process of the vulcanization? What is the process of the vulcanization? So that means vulcanization process discovered by the Charles Goodyear in 1839. Who is the scientist discovered by the vulcanization? Charles Goodyear in 1839. So what is the process involved? It consists of the heating of raw rubber up to 100 to 140 degree centigrade, up to 100 to 140 degree centigrade with sulfur. Sulfur. I think all of you know about the sulfur. Sulfur is the one of the family of oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium, and it belongs to the sixth group of the family. Okay, so first of all, we see vulcanization is nothing but invented by the scientist Charles Goodyear in 1839, and the process involves mainly the heating of the rubber with sulfur up to 100 to 140 degree centigrade. Okay, so the combined chemically at the double bonds of the different rubber spring and provides the cross linking between the chains. So this is very, very important. The cross linking between the chains. So because of this cross linking bonds, that means the rubber containing the both horizontal direction and vertical direction bonds, both horizontal and vertical direction of the bonds. Because of these directions and carbon satisfies its valency 4, it is very, very stable. So that's why cross linking bond is very, very stable in case of the rubbers. So such rubber is called as vulcanized rubber. So this cross linking during the vulcanization brings about the stiffening of the rubber. So by anchoring and consequently preventing intermolecular movement of the rubber springs. Okay, so this is the main reason why vulcanized rubber is more stable. So vulcanization process involves the mainly cross linking in between the monomeric units of the rubber. Finally, it converts into stiffing nature. So because of the stiffing nature, the anchoring and consequently preventing intermolecular movement of the rubber spring, preventing intermolecular movement of the rubber springs. That means it is very, very highly stable rubber. Okay. So now we see what is the reaction involved in the vulcanization. So the amount of the sulfur added determines the extent of the stiffness of the vulcanized rubber. So depends upon the percentage of sulfur present in the vulcanized rubber, it can explain the stiffness of the rubber. For example, ordinary rubber, say for battery case, it may contain nearby 30% of the sulfur. So one of the important application of the vulcanized rubber used in batteries. So that battery containing nearly 30% of the sulfur. So 30% of the sulfur. Now let us see the equations of the vulcanized rubber. So it is mainly involves the monomeric units, nothing but the isoprene undergoes the polymerization to give the polyisoprene. So that is nothing but a natural rubber. So this is about the polyisoprene units 2-methyl butadiene. 2-methyl butadiene undergoes the polymerization to give the polyisoprene units. So this is about the polyisoprene units. By taking polyisoprene units 1, 2, 3, 4. So totally we've taken polyisoprene units 4 units. So in this case, the saturation presents at the nearby 3 carbons. First carbon, second carbon, and third carbon. And unsaturation present at the second and third carbon. That means in between second and third carbon. So the same phenomena will also occur the first, second, third, and fourth unit of the polyisoprene units. Okay, so the sulfur linkage is possible in between the second and third carbon only, but not at any other carbon. Why? Because they are present in saturated position. Only the second and third carbon present in unsaturated position. So whenever it heats with the sulfur, what happens? The cross linking of the sulfur obtained in between the second and third carbon. So if you see the structure, the double bond should be migration, and it gets the sulfur cross linking takes place. That means in between the second and third carbon. The second and third carbon get a sulfur cross linking. Okay, so because of this cross linking of the sulfur, the natural rubber gets the stability and converted into vulcanized rubber. So because of this cross linking of the sulfur, the natural rubber converted into vulcanized rubber and gets the more stability. Okay, so this is about the preparation of the vulcanized rubber. After that, we see advantages of the vulcanization. So first of all, the tensile strength of the rubber will be increases. That means the mechanical properties will be increases. So vulcanized rubber will be has excellent resonance phenomena. So resonance phenomena means the substance comes to its original shape after the applied comparative stress. Okay, so it has better resistance to moisture, oxidation, and immersion. That means in the case of the moisture, that means in the place of the wet condition, it does not react with each other, and it should not react with the environmental oxygen or any oxygen molecules. That is nothing but oxidation, and there is no scratches present on the rubber of the surface. So that's why it is better resistance to moisture, oxidation, and immersion, and it is resistance to organic solvents like carbon tetrachloride, benzene, petrol, etc. That means whenever by taking any organic solvents like carbon tetrachloride and formula CCl4, benzene, C6H6, and petrol, nothing but hydrocarbons. Whenever these are mixed with the in any situations with the rubber, it should not react with each other. That means chemically inert. So it has only slight thickness. That means thickness should be optimum condition. It has low elasticity. Natural rubber having the high elasticity, but comes to vulcanization rubber having elasticity will be decreases. That's why this is more stiffing rubber. Okay, so this is about the advantages of the vulcanized rubber. Now let us revise that. So first of all, the tensile strength will be rubber will be increases. The tensile strength of the rubber will be increases, and vulcanized rubber having the excellent resonance phenomena. It has better resistance to moisture, oxidation, and abrasion. It is resistance to organic solvents like carbon tetrachloride, benzene, petrol, etc. And it has only slight thickness. Finally, it has low elasticity. After that, we see applications of the vulcanized rubber. So, in which case the vulcanized rubber mainly utilization takes place? First of all, rubber hoses, shoe soles, toys, erasers, conveyor belts, shock absorbers, rubber lined tanks, vibration dampers, insulation. So that means these are the applications of the vulcanized rubber. So first of all, rubber hoses. Rubber hoses mainly used in the industries, and after that shoe soles. Shoe soles means the human beings used in so many shoes, whether in domestic purpose or industrial purpose. Bottom of the shoe holes will be sole will be very very important. In order to get the stability of shoe, that sole should be prepared from the vulcanized rubber. So the children are very very like to about the toys. The toys also manufactured with the this vulcanized rubber. After that, erasers are very very important. So many erasers, pen eraser, pencil erasers, all of these made with the vulcanized rubber. And conveyor belts, so which are useful for in the case of the machineries, especially mills. So those are prepared from the vulcanized rubber. And shock absorbers. By handling these so many electrical items and goods, so the handle should be made with this vulcanized rubber. And rubber lined tanks, so especially in the case of the petrol diesel transport tanks, they are lining with the cap of the rubber tanks in order to avoid the leakage of those fuels. So that rubber lined tanks made with this vulcanized rubber. And vibration dampers, so these are also used in the industrial purpose. And insulation. Insulation means rubber having the no conductivity phenomena. That means it is purely insulator. So that's why these are used in the electrical items, whether in domestic purpose or industrial purpose. So this is about the applications of the vulcanized rubber. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.